Hey, how we doing today? My name is Davonte Sheard, as you all know, and today we're going to be doing the God Strategy Trendline video that I promised you in the group earlier. So as we see right here, we have what this would consider this an uptrend and this a downtrend. Now where you draw your trend lines from is what I'm going to teach you. So you take out the trend tool, which is this tool right here. You start from the blue circle. If the trend is going up, you want to go from blue circle to blue circle, or star, or however you call it. Then you're going to click right here at the bottom, and you're going to go to the bottom of this, not the actual blue star, but you want to go to the bottom of that candle the blue star is on. So right there, sometimes you have to readjust. You want to make sure it's at the bottom. In order to readjust, you just double tap. These little squares will come up. This is how you move the whole trend line. This is how you move this side. So let me draw this back here. And this is how you move that side. So what we can see right here is during the trend line, during the uptrend line, there's bounces. So the trend line holds the first 2 points are needed to actually draw the trend line. So as you can see right here, 1, 2. Those 2 points are needed. You want to wait to the third trend line bounce for actual trade, which is right here. So 1, 2, 3. You can actually count this as a bounce right here. So it can be 1, 2, and when you actually draw your trend line, you know that was the third bounce because you see one down here. So it's usually where you place your trade. You would buy right here, stop loss under the trend line. As you can see, this trend line held right there, right here, right here, and once the trend line finally broke, you can see the trend change. So a good thing to know when the trend actually changes, when this line has actually been broken and these two cross over. Those are two indications that possibly the trend is going to change. And as you see, once the two crossed over, it stayed in this up and down choppy pattern before it actually dropped. So sometime after a trend, it'll come up, it'll do consolidation. This is called consolidation when it goes up and down. This is no trend. This is not a trend. This small area right here is not a trend. It's going up, down, up, down. They do this to trap buyers or sellers. So once the trend has risen, now they have to trap people to make people think that it's time to buy again, you know, so they can snatch the money away from them. And you can see that over here too, the consolidation, then the uptrend, then the consolidation, then the downtrend. So now what we're going to do is figure out the downtrend. So we can either draw from here to here. It's a good one as well. But as you can see, there's spikes outside of the trend line. Now these spikes don't actually mean that now the trend line is up. It particularly means that there can be more downtrend lines drawn. These are just spikes in price to make people go long again. And as you can see, drawing a trend line in consolidation, you can actually see what they're trying to do. So in this area right here, they trapped all the people and made them buy because they thought the trend had broke and they thought it was going up. But as you can see, after that, it came down. This one went out a little bit, then came down. This one went out a little bit, then came down. This one probably is going to do the same thing, go out a little bit, and then come down. Now you have what you call a macro trend and a micro trend. So the macro trend is the overall trend. You'll have to zoom out to actually see what the market is currently doing. So if there's more blue than red, is an uptrend. This is more red than blue. There's a downtrend. So we can actually, since this is good, but we want a more accurate trend line because we have more of these red circles to draw another trend line, we can actually connect two more. So on this one, we connected 1, 2. You actually can see right here that this was a bounce as well. However, it wasn't a circle right there. So it was a bounce, 1, 2. This was your third bounce, and then you got the biggest drop usually comes after the third bounce. So then you got some, it broke, and now it broke away again. So what you actually see right here is an actual uptrend forming. You cannot, let me delete these. This is how you delete a trend line. You double click it. There's a button on your computer called delete. It's DEL. So press delete. So that's how you delete anything. You double click it and press delete. So let me show you the improper way of drawing a down or up trend line. So you see two red circles. So drawing from red circle to the next red circle that's higher is an improper trend line. That's an actual, these indicate the downtrend, but there's an uptrend line going because this is higher than that. So that's improper. You want to draw from a red circle to a lower red circle for it to be valid. And vice versa. You want to draw from a blue to a higher blue. This right here, a trend line can't be drawn from blue to blue. They're on the same level. A trend line can't be drawn from blue to blue. This is lower, and these indicate uptrends. These is what you connect. So we can see what just happened just now is a mini uptrend was forming. The overall trend is still down. Overall trend is still down. We can actually draw from this one to this one. And what you actually notice is 1, 2, and this is about to be the third bounce. And if you look down, if you watch the previous video, you know when the major trend is down and you got this right here, that's a good indication that it's about to shoot down again. Because if you watch from the previous video, which I'm really not going to explain in this video, this is really just for trend lines. That's why I want to make it short. But the magic magenta confirmations, as well as these two lines, these red circles. I'm just telling you how to connect trend lines. So you could see that 1, 2. If this was to be an uptrend, we would have to get a third bounce somewhere around here. But we're actually at the third bounce for the downtrend as well. 1, 2. You could say 3. So this is actually lines up with this trend line and lines up with that. Just want to connect two consecutive points, two consecutive red circles for a downtrend, two consecutive blue circles for an uptrend. So let's try another pair. Actually been drawing some work on this. Double click, delete, double click, delete, double click, delete. Alright, so as you can see right here on USD/JPY, this is how I predicted the move 360 pips, which I'm probably up about 320 or 310 right now. So do from right here, since this is the low that the blue is actually on, the next blue doesn't come to right here. So as you can see, these, even though these are outside, you can actually cut through those and find the nearest blue circle. Now you had to wait a while for another blue circle to form. However, this is a game of patience. So you got 1, 2, you got your third bounce, you got a fourth bounce, fifth bounce, sixth bounce, a seventh bounce, an eighth bounce. Now notice once it finally broke this trend line, after all these bounces, this is considered a strong trend line. This is very strong. So after it broke this trend line, Magic Magenta was in this basically overbought zone, and you had these two lines switch over. That's a good indication that the trend is about to change. So as you can see, they did the consolidation very quick up here, but it was over the course of, I say, 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4 before the drop. So now you can see how I actually caught that and called that in the signal group. So drop this. You can draw this from my bad, wrong one. You can draw this from here to here if you want. As you can see, this was a downtrend line. 1, hold up, it's not drawn correctly. 1, 2. You didn't really get a third bounce on this one. This one broke, and there was a mini uptrend line. There's a mini uptrend. So there's a mini uptrend. You know the trend is still down. The reason you know the trend is still down from the previous video, this has broken out, and it has not touched the bottom yet, which means there's a strong chance that the trend is still going to continue downward. This is just a minor pullback. So you see these two blue circles forming, indicating that this is a possible uptrend. So you got 1, 2, got your third bounce. That's where you enter. Now trading against the major trend is risky, so you want to only risk 2% of your account on trades like this. You can risk up to 5% going with the trend. We want to go with the trend, and this is how we actually do it. Trend lines just basically help you in order to follow the trend better. So we're going to delete this because this trend line has been broken and doesn't really serve a purpose anymore. We're going to delete that. Now we're going to try to draw another downtrend line, starting from here to here. 1, 2. This is another trend line. We could wait for a third bounce, which I don't really believe is going to go that high. I actually believe what's actually going to happen is from this trend line up here, you can draw from two red ones. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be consecutive like this. It can be like this as well, and it can be like this as well. So you can draw one like this. This is what I actually believe is going to happen. Draw it back up. Alright, this is what I actually believe is going to happen. This was 1, 2, it was kind of like a third bounce, but you weren't aware of that. But this is 1, 2. This is basically the third bounce, even though it broke it, came back in. This was just to confuse a couple of people. Came back up, came in. And now you see it might go for a possible retest. This is already up here. It may go up a little bit more, but this is a risky trade if you're going to buy into that. I would wait until it hits this, or wait until this starts to reverse a little bit, turn red. Because we're still in a downtrend. So that's that. So now you should know how to properly draw a trend line and use this and help you in your trade. would actually, this is a horizontal line. Sometimes I use this tool to point out points. Okay, so from this point we seen it rose a large percentage, so that means this point, this area right here is real strong. It has a power of potentially reversing us, as we can see a lot of volume playing from that. Same with this area right here. So I can expect for something to happen at these areas. The next one is right here. I can expect for something to happen at these areas. Well, not particularly this one. This is where it actually reversed from. This is where it shot up, this point. So I can expect something to happen within this area, within this area, within maybe that one, that one. And now you go to the down areas, maybe that one for sure, that one for sure. I just use these to mark zones and use the fluence. Also, you know how to use the Fibonacci tool already. And that's basically the basis of this video. I hope you learn how to draw trend lines accurately from blue to blue. It can be a trend line within a trend line, but always go with the bigger trend line. Let's see. You gotta zoom out to get an accurate picture of the bigger trend line. So this is the bigger overall trend line of the pound JPY. It's still in the downtrend. However, we had multiple little mini uptrends. We had an uptrend right here. So as we all know, this didn't even have another blue one. This was a very sharp trend. You could have got in on this one using these two lines right here. It kept bouncing off those. So sometimes you use these as trend lines, you know. So you always go with the overall trend line. You want to wait until a downtrend line forms within a downtrend line, or wait for the third bounce. And until it breaks this line, it's still considered a downtrend. So you won't be looking to actually buy it. But we can see the magic magenta is actually at the bottom. It hasn't left yet, and this is at the top already, which means there's a possibility, a strong possibility that it's going to drop. So I hope that sums up the video, you guys. I'm going to actually end this video now.